Hey there, my fabulous jewellery making friends. Today we're talking about that oh so relatable topic of creative block. Hello, welcome, my name's Carol. We've all been there, right? You're cruising along on your jewellery making journey, feeling like a creative wizard, and then bam! All of a sudden the creative juices just stop. What are you going to do? Today I have got you covered. I'm going to talk about 5 tips that I use when I suffer from creative block. And remember to stay to number 5 because it's a doozy. Number 1 is change your scenery. Sometimes all you need to do is change your scenery to be stimulated. If you're working on a piece and you feel stuck, try getting up and moving around. Go for a walk, do some shopping, not retail therapy, I'm not advocating that. Or go for a coffee with a friend. Just take a break. Chances are you'll return and so will the creativity. If your creative block has been going on for longer and it's more substantial than that, you might need to make some more drastic changes. For example, you might need to change your workspace around or even work in a different room. Exposure to new surroundings can trigger your creativity and your inspiration. For me personally, I like to go and reorganize the beads because if I do that, I see cool stuff that I'd forgotten that I have, and that can spark that inspiration. For example, if I see a really cool bead and I think, oh wow, I forgot that I had that, and there it is, and what can I do with that? And what I do is I put it on my desk, and then over the next few days I ruminate, and then it all comes. So that can be enough to change your state. It's almost like giving your creativity a little mini makeover. Number 2, sometimes it's as simple as you've gotten yourself into a rut. Maybe you're bored with the materials you're using. So maybe you should mix it up a bit. For example, if you are used to using wire for your jewelry making, maybe switch to trying out leather cord. Or if you are using glass beads that are smooth, maybe use some lava beads that are rough and textured. Change up the colours, the texture. If you get out some supplies that are different, you will find that things kind of move. And if that doesn't work, well, just keep playing. You never know, it might start you on a whole new path and a new journey on your jewelry making journey. You could also learn a new technique. Perhaps you could watch some tutorials. I have a few. How about if you've been making a necklace, switch it up and make some 5-minute earrings. I have a video on 8 pairs of earrings to make in 5 minutes, so I'll leave you a link in the description box for that. But just switching it up a bit can be a game changer. It's just enough to get those creative juices flowing. Even if you're looking at someone else's tutorial and you're following along and using the same beads, that can be enough to make the difference. Number 3. Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. There's an endless amount of inspiration there. Remember to check out our Facebook and Instagram too. But what if the well's still dry? You can look beyond the world of jewelry making. For example, when you go out for your walk, you could look at nature. You could look at flowers and the shape of the leaves, and maybe if you go for a walk along the beach you could find that special piece of driftwood that inspires you. Look for something that really gets you going. What about an art exhibition? That could be a good place to go to get some inspiration. There is literally inspiration everywhere if you look. One place I love to go for inspiration is vintage jewellery. When my inspiration has gone on holiday, that is the place I go first. Have you ever seen that TV show, Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries? It's set in the 1920s and the jewellery is absolutely stunning. Some of the clothes, but that's a different story. So I really love to look at 1920s, 1930s jewellery for inspiration. It really lights my fire. The other shows that I find really interesting are 90s shows. For some reason in the 90s we wore fabulous jewellery. So Phoebe on Friends, she wore amazing jewellery, and the mother in Castle, I can't remember her name, she wore amazing jewellery too. So have a look at those. Trust me, getting out and looking for inspiration in other areas will be revolutionary. Number 4. Sometimes our creative block is actually caused by our life circumstances, and if you push too hard to kind of push through it, you can suffer burnout. So if you're stressed, don't try and push your way through a creative block. Sometimes making jewellery can relieve the stress, but sometimes it can make it worse. If you're grieving, give yourself a chance to grieve before you go back and try and push through it. Remember that your creative block is a sign that you need to slow down. It's important to take the time to care for you. This might mean different things for different people. For example, You might want to hit the gym. You might go and have a spa day, or you might want to binge watch that favourite 90s TV show. Taking care of you is key, and trust me, your creativity will come back eventually, and it'll be stronger than ever. Number 5, we artists can be solo creatures. What? You don't think you're an artist? You are. If you're feeling a bit stuck, it's a really nice idea to collaborate with others. So maybe you might like to go to your local arts centre and see if there's a jewellery making group there. If there's not, maybe you've got a local art or craft shop that you can go and see if you can meet other crafters and other jewellery makers. If you can't meet anyone in person, it's quite a nice idea to collaborate online. You know, there are quite a few online groups. This is a shameless segue into my private membership group here on YouTube. If you are interested in collaborating with others, we have a private group that you can join. You just click the join button down below. We've been discussing creative block quite a lot lately because some of our members have been going through the same thing. So click that button and then you can watch the videos all about what we've been talking about. So have you ever suffered from creative block? And if so, what did you do to resolve it? Leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know, because your solution might help somebody else. If you're really stuck, you could try working through one of my tutorials. I'll leave you links in the description box below to the jewellery I'm wearing today, the earrings and the necklace and the bracelet, and I'll also leave you links to anything you've seen on screen. If you would like to see more of my jewellery and some actual tutorials, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell so that YouTube knows that you want to see more of me. You also might like to subscribe to our newsletter. So there you are, my lovely creators. Embrace the journey, take care of yourself, and let those creative vibes flow. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching today. Until next time, have a wonderful day. I'll see you again soon.